Hey guys and gals, this is Sam and I'm making this vlog in Poi Pet, Cambodia, which is a tiny town on the Thai-Cambodian border. And the big news going on is absolutely nothing, because in a tiny little border town in the middle of Nowhereville, Southeast Asia, the guest house that I'm staying at barred its doors at 8 p.m. precisely. So that's the curfew for the night, so I'm inside. And so on the positive side though, I figured I'd use this time just to do a quick little vlog, update everybody on what's been going on in my life since I got to Thailand. And yeah, I will hopefully make this the last attempt, because I keep trying to do it and the damn iPad has limited memory and keeps stopping the vlogs. So hopefully this one will work and be the last one. So yeah, here goes. I'll try and breeze through everything. So, first I went to Master Toddy's Muay Thai, which is a Muay Thai school in Bangkok, Thailand. And Master Toddy's biggest claim to fame is he trained Gina Carano. And she was kind of the women's MMA person, who was the figurehead for women's MMA before Ronda Rousey, so this was during the early to mid 2000s. So that was kind of what he was known for. She's not like Ronda Rousey in terms of personality, character, anything like that, but yeah, you know. I got to do some Muay Thai training. I got to work in the office and learn a bunch about like the business side of the martial arts world, how to market yourself and all that kind of thing. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, then it was time for me to move on. So I packed my bags and I headed out to an undisclosed location in Southeast Asia, elsewhere, to train with this gentleman who I'd been familiar with for quite some time, not actually meeting him in person, but through, I had seen him online and I saw some of his DVDs and stuff. His name is Christoph Clugston, and so I was pretty interested in his stuff because he does a bunch of reality-based training. It's really hard to boil down what he does to like a little definition or whatever, because he does a lot of cool stuff and a lot of complicated stuff, and he's always changing his training and he's always developing new stuff, which is a bunch of really cool stuff. If you can't tell, this was my favorite part of the trip. But yeah, so I got to do some training with him that, if I had to boil it down, would be just like reality-based fight training. So this is in contrast to the previous training I've done, which has been mostly sport fighting training. And again, I don't say that in a derogatory or a pejorative sense at all. I just want to define what sport fighting is versus reality-based fighting. Like, sport fighting is things like boxing, Muay Thai, grappling, jiu-jitsu, stuff where you have a set of rules, you have predictable environments, you have equipment that you wear that does not come close to what you're actually going to be in, in the streets if you get attacked in a real encounter where you have to defend yourself. So, that's all well and good for sport fighting, but you're not going to have hand wraps and gloves, for example. Like, you're not going to have these big pillows on your fists, these big cushions that you can just whack the shit out of someone with. If you punch like you punch in boxing or Muay Thai on the street, and you hit someone in the head at the wrong angle, you're probably going to break your hand. Just as an example. And I don't want to go into too much detail or say too much, because Christoph is quite protective of his stuff, because it's really cool stuff, and I highly encourage you to check it out. So I will leave a link in the description to do that. Also, the other cool thing about this is, like I said before, he's always developing new stuff, which I think is a really cool thing about him. He's not a static person where he just follows his one set routine. He's always trying to be better, and he's always trying to develop things. So he developed this new system called simian fighting, which is, yeah, what it sounds like. It's this sort of, it's primate type fighting. And I don't want to tell any more about it, actually, because it's cool and you should check it out if you're interested in yourself. So As part of that, I was the first person to go through this new training, and there's an interview that he did with me after the training. So I will leave a link in the description to that interview. And now I'm going to go to Phnom Penh, Cambodia, where I'm going to meet up with my friend Chan Viet, who I met my first time in Thailand. I also went to Cambodia and trained at his gym for about a week and a half, and he's a pretty cool guy, and he does a MMA gym in Cambodia, and so I can hopefully work with him there, and I can also work as an English teacher, because that's the other thing I've done there, is my certification. I've got this certification that I completed as an online course, like teaching English to speakers of other languages. It's TESOL is the acronym. And so I've completed that, and I'm just waiting for all the grading to get done so I can pick up my certification. And so yeah, that's the next stage of my journey, is that I will set up home base in Cambodia, and I will teach English and hopefully do some working and training with Chan and his gym. So yeah, that's pretty much what's going on, and so I'll leave you guys with a little story about what happened today during the border crossing, because it was kind of, I've been kind of bringing all my stuff around in, like I accumulated a lot of stuff in at Master Toddy's gym, including like a rice cooker and an electric kettle and stuff like this, and it's cool stuff that I don't want to lose, so I stuffed my suitcase as full as I possibly could. And so I'm dragging this giant suitcase in one hand and this gym bag in the other hand and this duffel bag on my back, or sorry, this backpack on my back, and everything's maximum capacity, basically to the limit of what I can carry. And so I'm sweating like a pig in the like it's about 100 degrees, and so, you know, I kind of look like a sight, I guess. And so on the border, there's a lot of people coming up to me trying to scam me, you know what I mean? There's just what happens around here, and they say, hey mister, where you go? You go Siem Reap? You go Phnom Penh? Where you go? I help you, you know, you come with me, okay? Yes, here, let me take bag for you. That was kind of a Russian accent, what the hell am I thinking? Anyway, this was a little something that I did to deal with it, to kind of lighten my mood, because I don't like being shouted at on all ends with all different directions of, hey mister, hey mister, hey mister. It's kind of, you know, so when they say, where you go? I said, I'm just chilling, man, where you go? And the reason I do this is because I believe, and I believe I'm right about this, is that the sort of the pattern that they're used to when they go up to tourists and say, where you go, is that they say no. They just keep walking and don't look at them and don't talk to them and don't try and interact with them. I'm not interested. And so they're used to that, and they know how to deal with that situation, and so they have another response prepared and another response after that. But when I just say something like, I'm just chilling, man, where you going? Like, assuming they even understand it at all. I don't know, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, and that's not being disrespectful to their English, that's just a reality. But you know, they just throws them for a loop. They don't know how to react to it. And so, and the other part about responding like this that I really like is that it's true, you know? I'm just chilling, guys. How you doing? Where you going? Modern American slang, arbitrary slang, dude, man, chill, you know? It's just, it's nice, man. Dude, whatever. I can't stop now. And the other thing like that is there are these beggar children, and they come up and say, hey, I'm so pitiful and cute, give me money. And it's supposedly this, it creates this sad vibe because, oh, look at these poor children who need money. And so what I do in that situation is I just kind of act like a total dumbass and a clown, frankly. Make funny noises, funny faces, and you know, I've only done it with a couple of kids that I've met so far, but so far the reactions have been pretty positive. I've got them giggling at least, so I like that because it changes the vibe to, oh, poor me, pity me, to like giggling and, you know, a little more happiness. And, you know, maybe it's condescending or whatever, but like, look, let's be real. I don't have bottomless pockets. I can't end poverty by giving money to all these kids. And at least this way, maybe, you know, their day is a little brighter than before because the foreigner's being clowned, and so they're giggling about it. So, yeah, that's it. I better stop before it cuts off. So yeah, hey guys and gals, this is Sam from Cambodia, and I'm just chilling. Peace out.